I got to ask you, I mean, could this year have been any better for you and your team? I mean, you're ranked number 1 all season. You're the defending champion. You successfully defend. Caitlin wins. What are your thoughts right now?
I mean, obviously, when you walk away with the individual title and the team title, that's a very good day. We had, just like any season, there's been some ups and downs. I didn't think we really, nailed it team-wise any of the races, and even here, I think what we were preaching is that things don't have to be perfect to get, to come away with the result you want. If things are good, you keep working with that, and you don't have to have perfection to pull it off. And we didn't necessarily have that today, but when you score 1 and 2 in the team race, that leaves you a lot of room to have some things happen behind that. So obviously that was huge, and yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of every one of the women that ran today, and some of the women that even aren't here. This is a program, not just the people that ran here today, and everyone has a role, and the people up front played their role perfectly today, and so did their supporting.
How are you going to celebrate this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. Our director of ops better have something going on in the hotel when we get back.
Was there a segment of the course of the race where you thought that you guys executed the best, and that's where the race was won?
I mean, I haven't had a time to really look at things, but I think that we talked about, from 4K to like 4,500, 5K is actually very challenging, and we talked about kind of measuring the effort in there to make sure you had something left for the last K, and I know Caitlin and Kelsey did that well. Sam Bush in Nevada did that very well. Past that, I'm not 100% sure, but we were passing, all of our athletes that came in the scoring group were passing people in that last 1,000, so I think they executed in the manner that we talked about.
Can you tell me what it was like watching Caitlin, get the gap and then close the gap? What's going through your mind? Were you worried it was too big? What did you think of her racing originally?
I mean, it was getting big, but I wasn't particularly worried. We had talked about being down in the last corner, so I didn't really get to watch a lot of the closing of it, except on the phone. I realized it had gone from like 12 to 5 seconds, and then when they came around the corner, I could tell that she looked really good, and that Kelsey looked really good too.
This could be for any of you guys. Coming into today, the course record was 20 minutes, and she beat it by 30 seconds, and a lot of people did too. Why do you think that was? Why do you think people were beating it so much?
I'd have to look at I think it was really windy last time too, but still, I think the level of competition individually this year is outstanding. I think Caitlin said that in the press conference yesterday, and so whenever you have that level of competition on the women's side, it spread the race out more quickly. People, credit to Parker. It really got the pace going quicker in the middle, and so I think people responded to that, and people who were really fit were able to handle that in this situation, and I'm just thankful we were able to handle that.
Laurie, what did you take away from 2 years ago when you ran on the course? Was there anything specific that you applied to today?
I know that we kind of lost a lot in the last 1,000 the last time we were here, but I think that was a factor of who we were running and what they had been going through. I mean, Caitlin had not really been fully training in that time, and Dominique Claremont had mono, so it wasn't a situation where I thought we didn't run well at the end of this course, but we did learn from that, and I think that helped strategy-wise with what we were doing, making sure it was the last K that we were ready to go this year.
Were you worried at all?
Thank you.
Were you was there a point that you thought, okay, we got this? Because last time there was so much movement in the last K.
No, not really till I looked at it, because we did have a gap there from 4 to 5 a little bit, and so it was hard to tell in the team score. But I did notice that some of the teams, we would have been competing against, also had people that far back. So I was figuring with what we did up front, that was probably enough to go 1-2 in the team score. But yeah, I wasn't sure till we actually looked at the scores at the end.
Because Alabama had a bunch up there.
Yeah, Alabama had a bunch up there, so it's hard to tell.
How hard is it to repeat now that you've done it? How hard is it?
I mean, like Henes said, there's been stress with it, but I think that understanding what you need to do is not bad either. They got questioned last night. Everyone said they'd prefer to be the underdog, but in a way, I think you learn a lot from winning too. Everyone says learn a lot from losing, right? But you can learn a lot from winning too. And like I said, just the fact that things don't have to be perfect throughout the season, and they certainly weren't for us throughout the season, but we reacted to that, managed it, and I think showed up here ready to go.
When you gamed it out in your head, was it pretty similar to what you thought of it?
I don't really do a lot of that, to be honest. We just try to focus on each individual having the best race they can, and I'm sure not everyone was 100% happy with their individual races, but we put that together and it worked out. So
thank you. Congrats.
Thanks.